Hello and welcome. This presentation is about a river system. Now, a river system includes a main river and all the streams that joins it. So in this lesson, we'll explore the different parts of a river system and understand how they work together from the source to the mouth. So now, what is a river system? A river system is made up of one main river and the smaller streams that joins into it. These smaller streams are called tributaries. So together they form a connected system that carries water across the land and eventually to the sea or a large lake. So you can think it like a tree. The smaller branches join together to form one big trunk, just like tributaries join to make one big river or a main river. So now we're going to talk about the source. So what is a source? A source is where a river begins or a start of a river. It is usually found high up in mountains or hills when there is a rain or a melting snow. So from the source, gravity pulls the water downhill and the river starts to form. So this is the beginning of every river journey to the sea. Now, tributaries. What are tributaries? Tributaries are smaller rivers on stream that flow into a large river. They bring extra water, soil, or sometimes even nutrients into the main river. So let's look here at the picture. You can see this is a tributary joining a main river. So when many tributaries join together, the main river becomes bigger and stronger. For example, the Vaal River is one of the tributaries that joins the Orange River here in South Africa. So now, river confluence. So a confluence is a point where two or more rivers meet or join together. So after the confluence, the river continues as a one main channel. You can often see a difference in the color of the water when they join because each river carries different sediments. An example is the meeting of a Blue Nile and the White Nile in Sudan, which form the famous Nile River. So now we're going to the watershed. So what is a watershed? A watershed is the high land or a ridge that separates one river from another. So it separates two rivers. So rain that falls on one side of the watershed flows into one river, while rain on the other side flows into a different river. So it acts like a natural border. And watersheds are important because they control where river flow and how much water they get. So now interfluve. So the interfluve is the raised land between two rivers that flow in the same direction. So you can see from the picture here we have two different rivers. So the interfluve is between the two different rivers. So the interfluve is usually higher than the river valley on each side. Interfluve can be flat or slightly hilly and are often used for farms, villages and roads. So they help separate one river valley from one another. So now go to the river mouth. So the river mouth is where the river ends. Here the river flow into the sea or a lake or sometimes another river. As you can see from our picture on the slides, this is the mouth flowing into a big river. So as the river slows down, it drops the sand and mud it has been carrying, forming landforms like a delta. So the river mouth is important because it is often rich in nutrients and support many plants and animals. So now we look at the complete river system. So when we look at the complete river system, we can see that all parts, source, tributaries, confluence, watershed, interfluve and a mouth work together. So water starts at the source, moves through tributaries, joins at confluence, crosses watershed and interfluves, and finally reaches the mouth. So this process shapes the land and support life along its journey. So every part here on the system depends on the others. So now we look at the importance of a river system. So river systems are very important to both people and nature. They supply water for drinking, farming, and industry. They support plants, animal and fishing, and also creating natural habitats. So rivers are also used for things like transport, recreation, and for producing hydroelectrical power from dams. So without river system, life and agriculture will not be possible in many parts of the world. So let's recap on what we learned. We learned that a river system includes the main river and its tributaries, and the main parts are the source, tributaries, confluence, watershed, interfluve, and the mouth. So river system move water, shape the land, and support life in many ways. Every part is connected, just like a network. So let's test what we have learned. Question 1: what is a tributary? What is the role of a watershed? Where does a river start and where does it end? Why are the river systems important to human? So take a few moments to think about this question before moving on. Thank you.